Dark Visitor sent me this very disturbing, and I do mean disturbing story coming out of Oregon, where this individual, this PC monster by the name of David McCutcheon, I'm guessing that's how you pronounce his name, who deserves to have my form of punishment when it comes to people who commit an act that he did. And I've always said that if you was a rapist of any kind, especially that towards a child, you deserve a cinder block between your legs. I'm talking about my form of a nutcracker. So this guy right here has been charged with 110 counts of rape and sodomy involving a young girl. And based on what I've read so far with how Oregon treats their rapists as far as when it comes to conviction and sentencing, I would say that they have it correct, and maybe other states need to adopt it as well. A Cottage Grove man faces 70 counts of rape and dozens of other charges after investigators say he admitted to sexually abusing a girl over the course of several years, beginning when the child was 6. Under Oregon's mandatory minimum sentencing laws, the man could face thousands of years in prison if convicted on all all counts as charged. Cottage Grove police took David McCutcheon, age 39, and that is a rough 39, into custody Tuesday. He is being held in the Lane County Jail on 70 counts of first-degree rape, 40 counts of first-degree sodomy, and 110 counts of criminal mistreatment. Rape carries a mandatory minimum sentence of 25 years under Oregon's Measure 11 sentencing guidelines. Sodomy normally carries a mandatory minimum sentence of over 8 years, but that increases to 25 years if the child is under the age of 12. The investigation started with a report to the Eugene Police Department on May 26. Police in Eugene referred the case to Cottage Grove 2 days later, determining that the alleged crimes took place there. Detectives interviewed McCutcheon on Monday and Tuesday of this week and was taken into custody. Police alleged he confessed to the crimes. The district attorney will review the case for formal charges. If convicted on all counts as charged by police, McCutcheon could conceivably face thousands of years in prison. Prosecutors can negotiate a guilty plea with a defendant in exchange for dismissing some charges, and a judge can choose to sentence someone convicted of multiple counts to serve the prison time concurrently, at the same time or consecutively, meaning 125-year sentence would have to be completed before the defendant could begin serving the next 25-year sentence. Under the latter scenario, 70 counts of first-degree rape could, in theory, result in an effective prison sentence of 1,750 years in prison. 40 counts of sodomy could result in 1,000 years in prison. However, at this point, McCutcheon remains innocent until proven guilty. It is too early to know if or how a judge might impose a sentence based on state guidelines. He was arraigned Wednesday on 8 charges of first-degree rape and first-degree sodomy. His next court appearance is July 16th, 2020. Just reading that absolutely disgusted me. However, I hope that they do find him guilty on every last charge. Now, notice how they stated he is presumably innocent until proven guilty. Unfortunately, the likes of Bill Cosby could not get that kind of treatment. Yet they actually have proof that this guy did what he did. They said he has been raping and molesting and committing sodomy against this girl since she was 6. Now, they don't specify how old the girl is now, but they just said for several years. Several is more than a couple, so we know she's not 8. This girl's probably maybe even a preteen now. She might even be a teenager. But I've always wondered too, like when it comes to stuff like this, where are the parents at or the guardians of this child while all of this is going on, and how do they not know what is going on? This is also another reason why some people are scared to put, like with the adoption agencies, because you never know or the foster care program, because you never know what kind of household you might be going into. I've heard horror stories about kids who was in the foster care program who got taken out by these so-called loving parents, and they end up treating the child like crap. They'll either rape and sodomize them, they'll torture them, they will make them be their slaves, or at worst, they will kill them. Because, like, you just never know what happens. But I just want to know, who is the guardians of this child? Like, is it a parent or grandparent? Who was not watching this child? And how did this child fall into the clutches of this demon that you see on your screen right now? I've always wanted to know that, and I know many people ask that same question, like, how does that happen? But hopefully they do get him, because I can just look at this picture and you can always look at a picture of someone and just tell when something is off about them. And this guy is not all the way there at all. But this is just the crazy world that we live in. But I'm glad that Oregon has very strict rape laws on the books. Like, it's very rare that you find cases like these. I mean, the last time I think I've seen a case where someone has been sentenced to hundreds of years in jail for rape was probably Dirty Dick Danny Holtzclaw in what was it, Oklahoma, when he was raping those women, and he got 215 years in jail. He's got like 200, a little less than almost 200 left to go. I just like throwing it out there. We know he ain't gonna make it. And then he got that Asian bed wench Michelle Malkin out there trying to prove his innocence for how many years has it been? Like 4 or 5 years now. But should he be found guilty, he deserves every bit of every piece of sentencing that he's going to receive. And preferably, hopefully, they put him in Gen Pop when it's all said and done.